really that is going to have to be the story of the game here. It's Benedetta versus potentially Uranus, and going into this game, does LPE have a chance to go force a reverse sweep here against Blacklist?
Well, based on the history of Uranus and Jake the Dog playing the Uranus here in the MPL, it's only one game, but it's not looking good on the side of LPE, mainly because this is another Blacklist lineup that can end the game really quickly. They'll be able to scale fast here. Their side lanes are so mobile. They're going to be empowered by the fact that with the Rafaela providing them movement speed as well. This could be another fast game by Blacklist, who, if I'm not mistaken, on average, have the fastest game length rate in the entire league so far.
And we might have another 2-0 if everything goes to plan here for Blacklist International. But as I say that, top lane, it's a Ryota-Edward matchup here. Lapu-Lapu versus a Benedetta. So Uranus and Alice over the bottom lane. Meanwhile, over the mid lane, it's the usual creature coverage here for Blacklist International and LPE. Just go ahead and go for the mid lane scuffles to try to get ahead of the curve and get their bucks. It's fight for the Little Wanderer as well.
And now everything is just going to be trying, all the efforts of LPE are focused on let's try to make sure Aspect doesn't die and he gets to farm up much better this time. They have the vision provided by the Mountain Chakra to help give them a little bit more of an advantage towards the turtle fight. But then again, this is going to be a problematic matchup for Jake the Dog. They can out-sustain each other, but then in terms of rotating and map presence, Alice has that Uranus.
The only thing that OHEB needs to work around here is to try to get
out of Benedetta, and Blacklist is that type of team that, okay, we don't necessarily need to win and brute force this lane, but just clear up the waves and rotate. And with the turtle there, then that Benedetta has the upper hand.
As we see that Aspect does manage to secure the first blood of the game. And that would slightly give them the edge here, LPE, but it's still not quite clear how LPE would be able to scale well into the mid-game here.
Yeah, much better start, though, this time for Aspect, now able to actually farm up and get a kill that isn't on a Diggy that will eventually become worthless. What LPE also needs to watch out for is Jake the Dog getting caught out here, who is trying to run away. He will be able to get away, but then Blacklist, speaking of Jake the Dog, also have to be careful. If Alice is going to be rotating a lot, then you have to watch out for Jake the Dog potentially out-pushing you in the gold lane.
And the turtle will be started off by LPE here and will be secured by them. That is the first objective, and there was a trend, and I don't know if that trend is still staying, but we'll get back to that thought as Jake the Dog in a scuffle here. It is a 4v1, and he will get taken down here by Blacklist International.
Great that. Blacklist is one of the better tower juggling teams in the game. And I just said it, so they decided to pressure out Jake the Dog. Now LP have to be careful because it seems like Blacklist, it will work out for them if they continue to bite out Jake the Dog.
As BMO spots out Oh My Venus and Gang, they will be forced back, gets the mobilization themselves, gets a stun onto Ards, will be backing off. Wise really ahead here. OHEB will flicker and pop the ult. Wise will be wrapping it up.
Good call there by Arbs, deciding not to stick around and try to turn it around for them. They don't have the damage or the items at this point to actually turn that fight around. So at least they weren't able to give another kill to Blacklist. But this is what's good about the lineup of LPE. Despite me saying that I'm favoring Blacklist a little bit more here, they have the closest thing we have to traditional frontlining tank, even though Sylvana isn't necessarily that, because he can do stuff like this and annoy Oh My Venus and SR.
Oh My Venus will be really annoyed by that kill because he should not have been caught off in that entire fight, and now we are seeing a little bit of an adjustment here for LP. Not an adjustment, but a rotation towards the bottom lane as they try to take down OHEB.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for them. They don't have the damage with that kind of rotation. Maybe with that Lunox was with them, possibly, but that is an Alice, still hard to catch. Speaking of catch, Bimo is on fire.
We'll catch out Essun as well as Wise will be forced to flicker out. That's 2 minutes without the flicker for Essun. And Jake the Dog will be diving in. Should not have done that. Bit off more than he could chew and still manages to survive, but I believe that he shouldn't have done that in the first place.
Yeah, and now, see, Ryota's just been stuck in lane trying to push that out here. Vendat is gonna be going back here. And Blacklist has to respect that. I mentioned it earlier, BMO is positioning. If they get surprised with Medic Lance and Divine Justice, could be really bad.
And this could be really bad for Jake the Dog because that is a 3-man gang squad off for Jake the Dog, and he'll get taken down. I thought for a fact that Blacklist would be going for a huge team fight, but that is a second turtle being secured by LPE, and I think they are going to try to turn things around here. Here comes the Mountain Shocker to just get a lot of damage in the game, and Ryota manages to take down Eston. Wise low on HP, gets the immobilization onto Ryota, and he's no longer part of the equation. Oheb will actually try to go for the backlines, but he is unsuccessful. Bimo, beautiful catch onto him. And that is a 3-for-1 trade with the turtle going to the side of LPE.
Fantastic positioning there by LPE, and they know that they were going to sacrifice Jake the Dog, but Jake the Dog actually played hard for Blacklist to get him down sooner. He bought enough time for LPE to take that turtle, bought enough time for LPE, specifically Bimo on that shrub closer to the crab on the bottom side. That's how Blacklist was surprised, because that's where Oh My Venus and S1 were.
And now, Oh My Venus, currently standing at 0-1 and 3 on this Poplin Koopa, just trying to go for a look for a good rotate here. But as I say, that did get a bite off of Arbs, almost takes him out, as well as Bimo. Bimo's low on HP, the turret will go down. Aspect will be paying the price for taking that turret with him.
Good lane switch here now by Blacklist, sending Ryota to the bottom lane. I don't think he'll be able to break that tower just yet, but forcing that rotate means that the Alice is going to be farther away from the next objective, and Jake the Dog, little by little, is going to start to be a problem for Blacklist, and his split push is because of how much Blacklist are putting their side laners towards the middle and towards the jungle.
I'll just go back to the point that I was trying to say earlier on, where
that happens, LPE lose their slight advantage that they have in managing the side lane minion waves.
Speaking of the side lane, Ryota will still stay in the side lane. Meanwhile, Jake the Dog will just continuously dish out the damage. They did swap out lanes here for Blacklist International and LPE, and really, Oheb is not having a good time against Jake the Dog.
Yeah, and because Blacklist International is also lacking the burst magic damage. Yes, Alice has great magic damage, but that's as the fight goes on. The Blood Awe will do damage, but it's not like, let's say, if you had a Kagura on your end or a Farsa on your end, just like true burst with just one flick of the skill. The closest thing they have to burst is Brody when he brings out Torn Apart Memory. A lot of their damage is like as the fight goes on, it happens little by little. It snowballs slowly. LPE, they have the Rune Up because they have the Mountain Shocker, and the kits of their heroes can deal the burst.
That's true. And Blacklist International's lineup, just like what you said, is not bursty. They're the front line to back line type of team. And speaking of front line to back line here, Edward trying to disrupt the back line, but unsuccessful. They will keep this turret for now. LP is looking to secure more objectives for themselves.
Yeah, no turret right now broken yet by Blacklist. That's already 2 down, favoring LPE. And this just is maybe because of how Blacklist played for more of a jungle-focused rotation. They were trying to pick off LPE, was working out a bit. But then Bimo coming up with the Sylvana, great positioning of the Sylvana, stopped that from being such a big problem for them and sort of balanced it out, the efforts of Blacklist in the jungle.
Meanwhile, the top lane, there was a heavy presence over to the bottom lane from the side of LPE. Now Blacklist will oblige them for pressuring Jake the Dog here. Still managed to survive, albeit barely, and he will fall down as well as the turret going down.
They have to make the most out of this trio, the Rafaela, the Alice, and then the Brody as well. Keep distracting Jake the Dog like that. Don't always make that your usual play, but you have a strong trio in that 3. Pull LPE into another part of the map, split push somewhere else, get a kill somewhere else, get a pick off with those 3, and then push through there. That's going to be a good recipe for Blacklist to regain control of this game and finally get better pushes towards LPE's side.
They're really doing a good job controlling their jungle for that matter, despite the fact that all their turrets are down. LPE's unsuccessful with really securing jungle caps on the side of Blacklist International.
Yeah, and that's because of the lineup of Blacklist. The sustain is really strong, and as the fight goes on, Blacklist likes that. And in the tight spot in the jungle, when you're up against an Alice and a Popo Koopa, it's gonna be bad for LPE.
And it's gonna be bad for Jake the Dog. Every single skill will be thrown at him, and it will be taken down without a shadow of a doubt. But that is a trade for the turtle. But this is a 2 turrets being traded out. It is. I thought it was going to be a base race there for a minute, but Blacklist International will be backing off.
And exactly, I mentioned it. This has to be the game plan here for Blacklist. They spotted it out, like Jake the Dog's the weak link here. I think with his strategy, So if they keep doing that, then that's going to be a good way for them
Nice.
to test LPE.
Winter truncheon here from Oheb to really survive that fight, and they might just take Arvs. Yeah, they will be able to take down Arvs here. Medward on the backlines will try to chase down BMO and Aspect, but will be unsuccessful on that. That push will be punished by Blacklist.
So now the question for LPE is, are you going to keep going for this approach or try something different? Well, they could keep Jake the Dog pushing just a little bit, but no more really deep pushes into lane. Just manage the lane and then get out. And then join in the fights. Because the inherent tankiness of the Uranus will buy enough time for Aspect and Arvs to deal damage to join in the fights for objectives or for skirmishes in the jungle. They're going to need him there.
Take note though, 55 seconds before the Lord spawns, which is a crucial objective for LP to secure in order to equalize the lane here. Well, the turret pushes, I mean. And already they're positioning themselves on over there. LP Blacklist International will try to shove out the lanes over at the bottom side so they can have the lane priority. But they're having a hard time because, again, time and again, it's Jake the Dog proving to be a problem here. And they're giving out Edward to just secure the top lane to prevent Jake the Dog from even deciding to push out forward.
Yeah, this might be a sacrifice, so great dive!
Great dive indeed. Esson already down and out for the count. Popol and Koopa. Oh My Venus not really as impactful in that fight, and LPE will be able to take down this turret and will have good Lord priority here as they try to go for additional kills here. Oheb will be spotted out in this run, but the damage output from Oheb is just way too much. Forces himself to flicker out of the fight. Edward in the back lines will try to go for LPE here. Electro Final Blow not really catching a lot of people, but at the same time, Wise will be popping the ultimate in order to skin a double kill there, and that is LPE paying the price in that entire fight. And now it's just Jake the Dog on his own in a 1v3. We'll try to punish LPE as much as possible here. We'll find out Oh My Venus, but I don't think it is the wisest choice that he can go for.
Great turnaround there by Blacklist, even though they lost Esson. They lost their main healer, their main support. They still have the Popol and Koopa, who I think Oh My Venus also built a bit of damage there as well as we look into the replay. This looked really good for LPE. BMO great pickoffs as well, but then Wise was just not there. LPE already blew out so much to take down the Rafaela and to take down Oheb's Alice. By the time Wise got there, he just needed to plant the marks, bring out the torn apart memory. Edward was there as well, even though he couldn't land the Electro Final Blows as much. Eventually, with the Phantom Slashes, he was able to deal the damage out to LPE.
And that instant replay is brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Get yours now for only 13,999 pesos. And that was a full speed clash over the bottom lane.
And this could be a full speed run into the inhibitor turrets of LPE if they're not careful, because Blacklist, look at them, they are going in with intent. They want to end this quick.
They do. Edward gets spotted out by BMO, forcing LP to back off into this inhibitor turret to try to defend this as much as they can. But as I say that, the Lord will chip out half HP on that turret. BMO and Ryota and Arvs, I mean, already low on HP. Electro Final Blow will not be catching anybody at all in that fight. Koopa will fall down, but Oh My Venus is still up. They will manage to take down the inhibitor turret. They will be forcing their attention over to the mid lane turret to just get that dominant map presence in this fight.
Man, long team fight, lots to sustain. Even the burst that LPE can bring out, it's still really hard to take down the lineup of Blacklist, who has a lot of healing, who has a lot of sustain, and they can continue this until they break down all the inhibitors.
Yeah, it's only one inhibitor turret left alive here. BMO forced to flicker out. He does not have much of a choice here as Wise pops this ult, and now it's only a matter of time before Blacklist International secures another 2-0 sweep here. They are doing what they can, LPE, but it's just not enough. Now it's just Ryota and Jake the Dog left alive here. Make that just Jake the Dog, and this game is pretty much over. Forces out the Winter Truncheon, but we'll be buying a lot of time here, but it's not enough. That's the game, set and done. Blacklist International, another 2-0 sweep for themselves.
As expected, but it wasn't as one-sided as game number one or as